work, and I'm a huge fan of your work. Leon,
hi there.
Fantastic. I'm here to interview on behalf of Brfm, where I've got a little 1 hour radio show. Right. As it's 1 hour, we'll have to make this short.
Yes.
And we're here for your album launch gig. Can I just ask, as I'm talking to you, was it all your idea, or did it sort of just happen?
What the
band?
The band well, it was.
Well,
it kind of happened as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. We were offered a gig up at Celtic Connections, and in fact, I think it's Ed's fault. You put us forward for.
Well, Donald, the artistic director, is always looking for new projects. I think, rather than just booking the same old band. So I think he was at Trowbridge Festival and saw a gig that Leon was doing and asked him to put something together for the following year's festival.
Well, when you said a gig that Leon was doing, were you playing at it as well? Or?
Well, no, I was at the festival, but I think that was called the Leon Hunt Tet.
It was.
Which was basically, I think that was whoever he could rope in to do the gig, so there wasn't actually a fixed number of people, hence the Tet.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. But Gina was doing the gig, and Josh was doing the gig. I think so, both of whom are now in the Scoville, so it was like an early incarnation of it.
I mean, bearing in mind the fact the number of projects you guys all got going, how do you manage to fit it all in?
Well, the answer is we don't.
Well, you're about to, though, aren't you? Because you must have quite a lot of stuff on now.
Well, it's building up, but we're, Ed's very busy with Cara Dillon, and who else are you playing with these days?
Yeah, bits and bobs with Brian and
Brian
yourself.
Brian Finnegan.
Oh, right, okay.
And whatever thing, but I mean, I think we treat it as it's nice because it's a local band, so it's easy for us to. I've never rehearsed as much with a band ever because we all live in the same place. So I reckon we've rehearsed more than we've gigged.
We certainly have, yeah.
And you spent a lot of time going to the curry house, according to the album details.
We definitely do.
Which I noticed are quite scanty. Are you into that kind of I noticed there's not a lot of detail about who played what, or this is just kind of like is this anything to do with the bluegrass ethic of,
Not really, we just
It's laziness.
Yeah.
poor old Josh did all the work and did all the album cover, and then nobody wanted to be bothered to read it, and then somebody went, there's no information on it, oh dear. maybe for the next print we'll actually say something.
Well, I suppose it does say everything you need to know. It says who's on the album, and if you don't know, I mean, it's like, if that in itself doesn't sell it, then nothing's going to really, is it? I mean, so. So you've done Celtic Connections now already, which is not a bad start.
Well, we did Celtic Connections. The first time we did it was about 2 years ago, and then we did.
But not as a Scoville.
Yeah, no, we did.
Oh, we did.
It's just been. I think it was announced the name. We announced the name at that first gig.
Yeah. And
then 2 years later, last month, we did another gig.
Right. Okay. That's not bad. Try two bites at the same cherry or something.
Exactly. Yes. Celtic Connections is a fantastic place.
But was it a different level of gig this time, or was it?
No, it was about the first time we did.
Same venue.
Yeah, it was the same venue. We played with the Sparrow Quartet with Bela Fleck and Abigail Washburn.
Oh, very nice.
And this time we played with the Jerry Douglas Trio with Omar Hakim and Victor Krauss.
Oh, right.
So it's a very sort of, it's a kind of a similar gig for us. But,
and have you got any big fat festivals lined up at the moment for the summer? I mean, I don't know, is Didmarten still going?
Didmarten's very much
an option?
Very much going. Yeah, we've been offered that, but there's also word of a gig in Belgium the same weekend. So we're trying to work out whether
whether the beer's better, is it?
Well, yeah. So there's a possibility we could do both. We could cramp. So we're just we're trying to work that out really. There's a sniff from Cambridge, so we've got our fingers crossed about that one.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, right.
So it is kind of about you're kind of self-agenting as such, and
at the moment we are, yeah.
It's kind of like unless one sort of drifts along into your radar, maybe.
Exactly.
That'd be good. I bet it's a tricky one because doesn't feel right to hassle people, because will you get some gigs? It's like, everyone's after gigs and I can't do that, so.
It kind of works better when they come to you. Then you kind of think,
in a way, yeah.
Only if you must.
Generally, it does work that way. I mean, festival organisers have always got a good idea of what they want for that year. So unless you're on that list that they've drawn up themselves, you're always going to be, you know,
fighting a really good attitude.
Yeah, there's something nice about. I know. I mean, we probably want to be slightly busier and doing more, but there's something nice about people discovering it, rather than being very pushy and you know, adverts everywhere and being in people's faces. I always feel that if people discover something, then it becomes it's more valuable or something.
Yeah, well, it's the word of mouth thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I would have thought the word of mouth thing must be pretty good with you, the 5 of them plus Miranda Sykes kind of on the periphery as well. You know, that can't do any harm. So.
That seems to be working okay so far. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, I was going to ask something. After the intelligent question, but it's all gone. Oh yes. How would you describe your music? I mean, I think of you as bluegrass, but it's more kind of. Well, there's quite a lot of jazz in it, and there's quite a lot of other things. You know, a bit of funk, acoustics in a way.
Yeah, I guess, you know, I mean, Ed's very much from a traditional Irish background, Celtic music, and Rex and I are obviously from kind of bluegrassy background, and you know, we're all into improvisational music as well. So yeah, it's sort of a bit of everything really.
So you were in Fluke. I don't know what happened. Is that right? You were in Fluke.
I was.
Yeah. I don't know. Does Fluke no longer exist?
Resting.
Resting.
Yeah.
like the Norwegian parrot. You mean?
Like actors.
All right. Right. Okay. Fine. It's not a top band. Well, it's a great band.
We might resurface at some point, but we might not.
It's also one of my favourite bands. So yeah, you know, it's going to be great. Thank you very much for your time and on behalf of the Brfm.
Let's hang out by the gents' toilets again.
Yeah. There we go. On that note, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.